Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm only short.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Like Daz as in having a nap.
Not as in dance or des or anything else.
D-A-Z.
Cheers for that.
Yeah.
As in the washing powder.
Sure.
Yeah, as in the washing powder. Whiter than white, some
Whiter
people
than
might
white,
say. So, we are the Office Blokes. We've got a Patreon page.
We have indeed. Go and have a look at patreon.com, put in Office Blokes React. We've actually got loads of content on there and a lot of
How much?
good video, loads of content.
Loads and loads.
We've got some really good exclusive videos, haven't we, to Patreon on there.
Big loads.
So if you fancy going there, getting all that free content, supporting our channel, that'd be fantastic. So
It's
go
not
down
free.
there and have a look.
It's not free.
No, it's not free.
It's one fun. What are you doing? Chopping down trees or something?
I thought I'd wear something other than a t-shirt for a change.
I meant if you're a Patreon and you subscribe.
Anyway, right, we've got 2 other channels as well. Those ones are free though.
They are free, yeah. You can go over and like and subscribe on these right away. You can press pause now, go over there, or whatever you do, and get it on another laptop or on your phone, and go to Office Blokes Try, where we try different things from around the world. Food, snacks, beers, that kind of stuff. Sports coming soon.
Yeah.
And we've got Office Blokes Podcast, where we do 2 podcasts a week at the moment, where we do one on a Friday, which is general topical content, and we do one on a Tuesday where Mike and myself talk about English Premier League football.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, you suggested this one. Was there any particular reason?
Yeah, one of the guys asked to have a look at it. I think his name's Brutus,
Brutus.
something like that.
Is he one of the patrons or just one of the...
I think he's just a regular contributor.
I've seen him. I've seen him in the comment section
yeah.
quite a lot. To be fair,
Some of the patrons you see, when they comment on videos, it's not the same name as they are on Patreon.
Ah, right.
So sometimes I'm not sure. So
just to throw us off a little bit.
Just throw us off a little bit. Yeah. I guess they're keeping everybody off their scent as well. Moving targets and all that kind of stuff.
Hasn't Brutus jumped on the
the bandwagon of
the bum fighter?
Yeah,
wanting
correct.
us to react to the bum fighter.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
the bonfire.
Yeah, the bonfire. That's what they
are, bonfires.
That's what you wanted, Brutus, wasn't it? The bonfire. Yeah, and the rest of you.
He's asked this one: how wolves change rivers, and I just looked at it and I thought it might be of interest. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
something different. I thought
we've not really done any sort of
nature ones for a while.
Yeah, I think we did like top 10 deadliest animals and things like that. But stuff like this can be really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm really into sort of like nature and stuff like that. So it's
right.
Could be of interest for us all.
Could be interesting. This definitely. Yeah.
Let's do it then. How wolves change rivers. I should have said how. Doggies.
One of the most exciting scientific findings of the past half-century has been the discovery of widespread trophic cascades. A trophic cascade is an ecological process which starts at the top of the food chain and tumbles all the way down to the bottom. And the classic example is what happened in the Yellowstone National Park in the United States when wolves were reintroduced in 1995. Now, we all know that wolves kill various species of animals, but perhaps we're slightly less aware that they give life to many others. Before the wolves turned up, they'd been absent for 70 years. That the numbers of deer, because there was nothing to hunt them, had built up and built up in the Yellowstone Park, and despite efforts by humans to control them, they'd managed to reduce much of the vegetation there to almost nothing. They'd just grazed it away. But as soon as the wolves arrived, even though they were few in number, they started to have the most remarkable effects. First, of course, they killed some of the deer, but that wasn't the major thing. Much more significantly, they radically changed the behavior of the deer. The deer started avoiding certain parts of the park, the places where they could be trapped most easily, particularly the valleys and the gorges. And immediately those places started to regenerate. In some areas, the height of the trees quintupled in just 6 years.
Wow.
Bare valley sides quickly became forests of aspen and willow and cottonwood. And as soon as that happened, the birds started moving in. The number of songbirds, of migratory birds, started to increase greatly. The number of beavers started to increase because beavers like to eat the trees. And beavers, like wolves, are ecosystem engineers. They create niches for other species. And the dams they built in the rivers provided habitats for otters and muskrats and ducks and fish and reptiles and amphibians. The wolves killed coyotes, and as a result of that, the number of rabbits and mice began to rise, which meant more hawks, more weasels, more foxes, more badgers. Ravens and bald eagles came down to feed on the carrion that the wolves had left. Bears fed on it too, and their population began to rise as well, partly also because there were more berries growing on the regenerating shrubs. And
this is madness, isn't it? I thought we'd better pause it somewhere and say something, because otherwise we're just watching a video without any facial expressions.
Yeah, when you watch people like David Attenborough, and he talks about all the planet and the blue planet and the nature's the way it works, and you look at how certain things go extinct and certain things generate from the extinction of other things, but then to regenerate the whole system like this, what this is talking about is mad.
It's crazy, isn't it? They talked about reintroducing wolves into Scotland a few years back, and the reason they didn't do it is because whoever owns the land that the wolves are on would be responsible for what the wolves did.
Oh, really?
And basically the problem is if the wolves walk off that land and go somewhere else, you're liable. Whereas if you had to fence the wolves in, technically they're not wild, but you'd have to apply for a permit to become a zoo or a nature reserve.
Right.
So the only way they could have done it is to fence off like a couple of thousand acres and put wolves in there.
Big huge area, wouldn't it? Then what's the point of reintroducing them if it's
Precisely.
going to be fenced in?
Yeah.
It'd be
So it's
complete waste of time.
It's literally pen pushers and bureaucracy that they've not reintroduced wolves into Scotland, which, based off this, is something they should absolutely do. If they were wild there, and you look at the effect it's having on Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Might have a bit of a population control as well in Britain to introduce wolves.
Into inner cities, mate.
Yeah, that's what you should do, Drop about 400 off in Altrincham.
See, if it was me, if I was one of the conservationists that was geared up to do that, I'd sneak a few wolves in.
Would you?
Not tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just fascinating for me how this should be used then as a as like a
template or something.
Correct.
Yeah. It's clearly
to
works,
go to Scotland and say this is how it worked for us. You could implement the same.
Yeah.
But try telling that to a politician who's going, but
where does the money come from to fence it off?
No, I heard a wolf killed a baby once. We can't do that.
They don't want to be responsible for these.
No one. You know what it's like.
Just don't let the wolves out after 6:30.
That's a great idea. Why has no one suggested that before?
bears reinforce the impact of the wolves by killing some of the calves of the deer. But here's where it gets really interesting. The wolves changed the behaviour of the rivers.
I forgot about that bit.
They began to meander less. There was less erosion. The channels narrowed. More pools formed. More riffle sections, all of which were great for wildlife habitats. The rivers changed in response to the wolves.
Wow.
And the reason was that the regenerating forests stabilised the banks so that they collapsed less often, so that the rivers became more fixed in their course. Similarly, by driving the deer out of some places and the vegetation recovering on the valley sides, there was less soil erosion because the vegetation stabilised that as well. So the wolves, small in number, transformed not just the ecosystem of the Yellowstone National Park, this huge area of land, but also its physical geography.
Amazing. Wow. It begs the question, you know, if you can, by displacing the deer from a certain area, the ecology sort of regenerates. Should humans be everywhere? Should we not have predators that keep us away from certain areas, that stop us doing what we do to ruin the areas? And you know what I mean? Because we're part of the ecosystem too.
Yeah, we're the main part of the problem probably. But what you've got is, that's what I was just going to get to, is all that. Humans move in, demolish it all, build 4,000 houses, motorways and cars and shit like that, and then, you know,
all the wildlife has to move out, go somewhere else, and have to
do whatever.
Yeah.
It goes extinct or
That's it, yeah.
diminishes severely anyway.
It's really interesting, that. Really interesting.
We're going to have to find one similar for the rainforest, I think, if we go down this route.
Yeah. The rainforests were a little bit more depressing after the Brazil thing where they were burning them, weren't they?
Yeah.
And stuff. That was forgotten about because of COVID.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. So I think there's too many of us, to be fair. And even David Attenborough himself said he reckons there should be no more than 1 billion people for the planet to be sustained and for us not to be extinct in species all the time.
We should do like a lotto, would you say?
No, I'm not saying
a raffle. Stay on the planet.
Yeah.
Well, as people become more affluent, they have less kids. So there's a theory that, although it's going up like that, the population at the moment, it's tailing off and it's going to cap itself at a certain point because people don't need to go out and have 10 kids. They want to have a career, they want to do this and that. So they end up having, I think the average in this country is less than 2, isn't it, per person?
Civic's about 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I reckon it's coming down then, population as a whole?
It's not coming down, but I think the growth is slowing in more affluent countries.
Yeah.
So there's still some countries where there's nothing better to do, so why not squeeze out 10 babies? But where there's more opportunity, especially for women to have careers, they put it off later and later to have kids, in which case they can't have as many. That seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah.
Interesting
stuff.
though.
Yeah, really
good video,
interesting.
that.
Yeah, it was.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Just a bit.
Yeah, I used to be obsessed with nature documentaries years ago. I
watched
watched loads.
great. I love them. Brilliant.
Recent years, I've not. I went to Blue Planet 2 live with the full orchestra and stuff, and that was amazing. But other than that, I've not been keeping up.
When
on
you
it.
do Blue Planet 2 live, is David Attenborough there?
No. It was. Oh God, the woman that was narrating it. She came on stage. I can't remember who she is. I think she was on Blue Peter years ago.
It's not like someone like Fiona Bruce or someone, is it?
No. She's.
I think he's Skeleton. No.
I can't remember now, but she was really good actually. Yeah, and then there was a bit of Attenborough, but towards the end, and it was a pre-recorded voiceover sort of thing.
Brilliant programs then as well, aren't they?
Full
Fantastic.
orchestra, and it'll be like a 6-minute clip of some of the best scenes with the orchestra playing, and then you'd get an explanation of what's gone on.
Great idea for a show, that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm watching
that. Sounds really good, that. Full orchestra.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
It was amazing. It was really, and I think I was about 5 rows back from the orchestra. Made sure, paid a bit extra, and got right on the floor.
Brilliant.
I wonder if that's something we can react to.
Maybe. I don't know if
it's recorded.
It's worth a look.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed that too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.